welcome back to my channel. This is Anastasia here with this week's 16 and Pregnant recap. This is actually the last episode of season 6 of 16 and Pregnant. Before I get started, I would love it if you guys would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post 1 or 2 new videos every single week, but at least 1 every week. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this 16 and Pregnant recap. In this episode, we meet 15-year-old Cali from Indiana. She's actually a high school freshman, making her one of the youngest girls on the whole show. Her boyfriend is Austin. They met in 6th grade and have been together 24/7 since then. And she's not lying about that. Austin's dream is to go to Notre Dame College to play football and study engineering. He doesn't get along with his mom, so he lives with his grandparents. But often he stays with Cali since she wants him there so badly. Her pregnancy is right in the middle of coronavirus, so they had to cancel her baby shower. Like many others, she can only choose one person to be in the delivery room with her, and since she's so young, she wants an adult there, and she chooses her mom. Cali tells Austin that she would prefer him to fully move in with her at her parents' house instead of staying with his grandparents. Austin sees himself marrying her and says it would be a dream come true to marry her. Aww. Finally a dad on this show that's actually like a decent human being. I find him to be very sweet. Cali's parents were teen parents as well. Her dad is still with her mom and they're still married. However, he admits that he wasn't around much when Cali was young, and he feels a lot of regret about that. Her dad has a talk with Cali and Austin and tries to make them see the reality of the situation and how much their visions of their future is going to change. He keeps pointing at them with like this big sharp knife, and her mom is like, can you stop that? Try not to scare them that much. By the way, if it wasn't for the corona, I really would not believe that this was filmed in 2020, because the dad is wearing Zoo York and Austin is wearing Hollister graphic tees. Is Indiana stuck in 2008? To my Indiana viewers, are you guys stuck in a time warp? Please let me know. Cali really wants Austin to stay there at her house, but her parents say that he can't stay there forever. After all, they're only high school freshmen. They're having a boy and naming him Bodhi. It sounds vaguely like Indian to me, I don't know. They have a photo shoot in the yard, and while they're doing that, their parents set up a parade/baby shower to surprise Cali. So basically, all these cars roll by with balloons, and they all bring all the presents that they would have brought to the baby shower. Cali is super happy about the surprise, and she feels overwhelmed with love. She wasn't expecting to actually get the stuff that she needed. However, she's having some issues with her body image since she gained so much weight, and her stretch marks are quite severe. She's very stressed out about that. Austin says that Cali breaks down whenever he leaves, which breaks his heart. These two actually remind me a lot of Kate and Tyler from Teen Mom. They've been together for forever. The guy is actually super supportive and decent and nice and loving. Also, you have to admit they are a little bit codependent on each other. But in my opinion, they're still leaps and bounds above like the 95% of other guys on this show who are actually like abusing their girlfriends and like throwing bricks at their cars and cheating on them and all this stuff. And I would take the codependent couple over that any day. Austin's grandma really misses him, and she wishes that he would stay with her and his grandpa more often. She worries that he doesn't do all his schoolwork when he's over at Cali's place. No one's really holding him accountable over there. Cali starts having Braxton Hicks contractions on one of the few times that Austin isn't there, which really freaks her out. She has bad anxiety being without Austin. She goes for an ultrasound and they're able to schedule an induction for her a week early. Austin realizes how codependent Cali is on him, and he worries that she will freak out in the delivery room without him there. The night before her induction, she says, "I'm nervous and excited. It's like a scary Christmas." I've never heard childbirth put that way before. It's like you get a present, but you have to pay for it for the next 18 years. Thankfully, the maternity director ended up letting Austin in the room anyway. I think it's like the 3rd time this has happened on this show. She had a super painful back labor, and she was in labor for 27 hours and had to do some sort of balloon insert, she says. I guess inside her vag, which sounds terrible. She pushed for 3.5 hours, and unfortunately, she also had a botched epidural. There was an epidural puncture, which gives her a terrible headache. I really feel bad for her. She was so anxious about the pain, and she pretty much got the worst of the worst situations. Luckily, her boyfriend is leagues above all the other dads on this show. They showed him rubbing her and actually listening to her feelings during the whole delivery. Also, they keep wearing these jackets that say "Virginity Rocks." And after hearing about vagina balloons, I have to agree. Cali is in so much pain after her botched epidural that she can't get out of bed, even to bond with her baby. She feels depressed and feels like she's a bad mom. Austin does all the work, and he feels bad for her because he knows that she wants to get up. And this goes on for about 2 weeks, her being so sick that she's in bed and Austin taking all the care of the baby. Can we just give a round of applause to Austin, by the way? This guy stepped up literally from day 1. He's only 15 and took full-time care of his baby when the mom couldn't, the first 2 weeks after he was born. You have to give credit where credit is due. That's very impressive and mature of a 15-year-old boy. Probably one of the best teen dads I have seen on this show. After a couple weeks, Cali feels better, but she feels weird about parenting since she missed the first few weeks of it. She almost feels like she's babysitting. She says, "Oh, I watch these mommy vlogs on YouTube where the moms look so happy and I'm not like that. I didn't have him around me for 2 weeks and I didn't know who I was. I felt like I lost my identity and who I was before pregnancy. I can't remember what I used to do. Cali and everyone else, please do not believe everything that you see in those fake ass mommy vlogs or family vlogs. Family vloggers literally edit out any little negative thing that gets filmed, and other stuff they don't even film at all because they have control over it. And it's a lot of acting for the cameras, a lot of made up stuff. Everything has to be super positive so they keep getting sponsorships and ad revenue. So everything is so sanitized, it's completely not realistic. It's so sad to see what social media manipulates people into thinking real life is supposed to be like. Austin has stayed at Cali since Bodhi was born, but he admits that it's super hard, especially since the baby pees so damn much, 10 to 12 times a day. He tells Cali he wants to go to his grandparents' house more often because he misses them. And Cali says, no, you really shouldn't. This is too hard by myself. Girl, count your blessings. You literally have the best boyfriend that I've seen thus far on this show. Most girls get no support from the dads whatsoever, or bare minimum. And your guy's over here rubbing your feet and taking care of the baby full time. Let that boy go home before he drives himself crazy. Even Cali's mom says that she's holding him hostage there. Austin's grandma is concerned about Austin's grades. He's been flunking and they get phone calls every day about him failing a class. He blames it on the virtual learning, but his grandparents are concerned. He used to play football and do all this stuff in school, and he quit it all for Cali. But he doesn't want to feel like he abandoned his baby like his parents did to him. Again, Cali is not letting him leave the house, saying, the baby screams when you aren't here, and I feel like a bad mom. I don't want to be a dropout, Austin. You have to grow up and help me. Girl, you're about to make him a dropout. But she admits that he is an amazing father, and she is appreciative of that. Cali's dad is worried about her extreme dependence on Austin. Overall, her parents are impressed with their parenting, but her dad says Austin has to leave at some point. It's not acceptable for two 15-year-olds to live together. Cali starts crying. She hopes that they stay together, and Austin says he 100% wants to marry her. Eventually, after 6 months of living together, she admits that they need a break emotionally, and she lets Austin leave to his grandparents. She can't wait for them to graduate and figure it out together. And that's all for this episode of 16 and Pregnant. So it was a little bit of a different story than what we usually see. A lot of these episodes seem to follow a formula. Deadbeat dad, abusive dad, bare minimum dad, and finally we see a dad who actually gives 100%. So I'm actually super impressed by that. Obviously they are a little bit codependent on each other, and that's something they will probably have to figure out in the long run. They'll probably get sick of each other at some point, but it's leagues and leagues better than abusive baby dads or absent baby dads. So it's kind of cool to see a healthy relationship. We also saw that a little bit with Cameron and the other Cameron, the two Camerons. They also worked very well together. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this episode, what you guys think of their relationship. Do you guys think it's healthy or it's a little bit too much? Do you think she relies on him a little bit too much? That kind of feeling where she thinks that she would die without him, which is not too healthy? Leave a comment down below and make sure to subscribe for more 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom recaps every week. Well, not 16 and Pregnant because the season ended, but Teen Mom recaps every week.